Hi, this is Matt Round from Coachworks Auto Body, and I'm doing a teardown on a 2018 Kia Forte that was repaired at another repair facility. Customer stated a couple issues they were having problems with, seeing some appearance, color match issues, and noticed some body work and fitment issues on where the bumper to the quarter panel and the light fit on each side. So we're going to take off this bumper and see what we can find. But before we do that, we'll show some of the issues that we're seeing. A really big gap across the bottom side here. The bumper is sticking out, not completely nice and fit and finish isn't there. Cut a little short on the bumper itself. Looks like this deck lid was changed from a salvage LKQ junkyard part. Some dents are still in the panel, and you could even see signs of bodywork scratches in that. And for this side too, a little bit of fitment issues there. The biggest thing we saw when they did the refinishing and blending on each of the quarter panels on both quarters, you could see a visible line where they backmasked, and all of a sudden it disappears down into the rocker. So we possibly feel like there could be a solvent blend here. And then this up here on the roof rail is also, you feel a burned edge on the rail itself, and that is on both sides of this thing. You visibly see a line where they backmasked, and obviously a solvent blend or a hard edge was obtained on this. So we're going to take off this bumper and see what we could find, because we know the rear body panel was also changed on this. So right off the bat, I could see that there's some damage or bend in the tail light pocket area to where the rear body panel goes onto. Also noticeable on both sides up here where the deck lid is, it looks like the deck lid had impacted the quarter panels. So there's a little damage still there. You can definitely see some opening and gaps where the rear body panel was changed onto the taillight pocket, and there are actually holes and missing areas that where welds should have been. And on this side, it looks like it's not even welded. It's completely separated. Yeah, I could completely separate that panel. There is no weld on that pinch weld at all. So that's a huge problem. looks like this retaining clip has a broken tab on it. Retaining clip on this side is just breaking, it's so brittle. The head on it just didn't want to come out, and it's a completely different clip than from the left side, so mismatching clips. couple broken clips on the rear sill. So upon initial taking off the interior of this, well, first thing we notice is there is a self-tap screw held right here. The panel looks like it has multiple burns that were never addressed, holes in it. Don't even know if there's the correct amount of welds in this quite yet, but this is how this thing looks from the back side. From what it looks like, the end plate has some damage here. So this is how this rear body panel is installed. Definitely not to pre-loss condition or signs of quality workmanship. There was some repair time on the floor. We'll have to look a little closer to see what was repaired and if any of these are buckles or damage that wasn't addressed. Obviously some work done on this frame rail end, but there are signs of weld, slag in here still. Holes in your rear body panel. Burns not even addressed. So some major issues we're seeing so far. We're going to take off this bumper, see what it looks like on the back side. So this light, what was, I assume, was supposed to be listed as LKQ, used junkyard, is a new aftermarket imitation part. original taillight. So, looking at this side, about to take off this bumper, and you can see the mount tab has completely been misshapen and damaged. There's some pretty serious runs in this panel, and from what it looks like, it was also backmasked and not clear coated or repaired in the taillight pocket at all. Let's see what this side looks like. Same thing, you could clearly see the solvent edge right there. This panel isn't so beat up, but definitely signs of, again, poor workmanship. Brittle. This clip is breaking again. Another location. As I'm looking at the bottom of this tail rear panel where it's attached to the rear floor, I'm seeing bad signs of repair, seam seal that doesn't match, seam seal that isn't sealing any seam. It's already running into additional issues I see at the bottom here. So what I'm seeing right off the bat is you could see this is definitely not matching. There's complete seam seal missing in this seam all right here. They welded the rear body panel to the end plate right there for some reason. Looks like this isn't even welded, this tab, and it's full of burn marks. We're gonna go under here, and again, this looks all wrinkled and damaged. The floor itself. There's holes in this. Looks like stitch welding. They never used a spot welder. Looks like self-tap screw holes in multiple spots. Missing seam sealer in all these seams. We're gonna go on this side, and wow, this panel is completely bent up. They don't even have it welded to the new rear body panel. Wow. Let's take off this rear bumper now. Bolt looks so over tensioned, it's mushroomed a little bit. This bolt was holding on this impact bar. Look how bad that is. Try to get that. It's all mushroomed out. Not even flat. This bolt's the same way, not as bad. It's definitely mushroomed out like it was way over tightened. Same thing, bolts, mushroom, or the washer is retainer, little mushroom. So the reasoning for most likely the poor fitting bumper was because this is an aftermarket imitation bumper cover. They put an aftermarket imitation crash rebar, and it looks like an extender plate on the left side. There's your parts being used. But more importantly, let's look at this rear body panel. So you can see the seam seal, okay, doesn't quite match. Really concerned with what's under there. We could see spot welds, put on a couple spots, and you could peel off some paint with the burns that are still on there. So that wasn't properly treated. There's definitely misalignment in the mount holes. It looks like this whole thing is bowed. If you look at it from the side, you can definitely see it's bent. Spot welds done. There's even exposed holes where you could still see light through. It's welded. Like I said, there are those holes. Missing a plug right here. Again, spot welds, plug welds by a MIG welder done. Here is definitely welds. Looking here, holding on the sides. Looks like this is completely loose. This isn't even attached to the end plate. Looks like burns there. Same thing on this side, inconsistency. Here's that in the very beginning when I noticed. There is a hole in this still, right there. It's not even welded together. So, sadly, some say that there are shops out there that do reasonable or industry standard repairs, and they don't follow guidelines.